For all we know about ancient Egypt, its towering pyramids, legendary pharaohs and gods carved into stone, there are mysteries that still baffle even the smartest archaeologists today. Behind the textbooks, behind the museum displays, lie questions that remain unanswered. How could a civilization from over 4,000 years ago leave behind achievements so advanced that even with today's technology, we still struggle to explain them? Take, for example, hieroglyphs that seem to depict strange, almost futuristic objects, or tombs that were built with such precision that they align with the stars themselves. Then there are the missing mummies, royal figures who vanished from history, leaving behind empty sarcophagi and more questions than answers. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. 10 of ancient Egypt's greatest unsolved puzzles. Some of these may change the way you think about human history. By the end, you might see this civilization not just as a chapter in the past, but as a mystery still unfolding before our eyes. From hidden chambers inside the pyramids to a queen's lost tomb and even a bird-shaped artifact that might reveal secrets of forgotten technology, you're about to discover just how much we still don't know about ancient Egypt. We're going to count down from number 10 all the way to number 1, starting with the smaller mysteries that raise eyebrows and building toward the ones that could completely rewrite what we think we know about human history. Each step on this journey peels back another layer of ancient Egypt's secrets, and I promise it's not going to feel like a history class. You'll get the facts, but also the drama, the unanswered questions, and the wait-what moments that keep experts awake at night. This isn't just about dusty ruins or old scrolls. It's about real puzzles still unfolding in our lifetime. And here's the thing. Some of these mysteries are so strange, so impossible to fully explain that they sound more like science fiction than history. Stick with me until the end because mystery number 1 might just be the most mind-bending of them all. Number 10 takes us to a place that some ancient writers described as even more impressive than the Great Pyramid itself, the so-called Lost Labyrinth of Egypt. According to accounts from travelers like Herodotus, this massive structure had thousands of rooms, intricate passageways, and underground chambers so vast they claimed it was beyond words. But here's the problem. No one has ever found it. Archaeologists have searched the sands near Hawara, where it was supposedly located, and while ground scans suggest massive stone foundations underground, the labyrinth itself has never been excavated. Some believe it was swallowed by the desert. Others think it still lies hidden beneath the water table. If this labyrinth exists, it could hold secrets of Egyptian religion, politics, and maybe even their lost technologies. But that's not the strangest part. Number 9 is a small wooden artifact that raises a very big question. The Saqqara Bird. Discovered in a tomb in 1898, it looks like a simple bird carving at first glance. But when you look closely, the wings are straight, the body aerodynamic, and there's even a tail fin. Features you'd expect on a glider, not a bird. Some researchers think it was just a ceremonial object. Others argue it could be evidence that the ancient Egyptians experimented with early flight. Replicas of the bird have even been tested, and shockingly, they can glide through the air. So, was this just coincidence or proof that Egypt knew more about aerodynamics than we give them credit for? That question only gets deeper when we move to mystery number 8. For centuries, one name has fascinated historians and storytellers alike: Cleopatra. She was Egypt's last true pharaoh, a queen of immense power, beauty, and political skill. Yet for all we know about her life, her final resting place has never been found. Ancient records suggest she and her lover, Mark Antony, were buried together, but no tomb has ever been uncovered. Archaeologists have searched everywhere from Alexandria to hidden temples along the Nile, but each lead turns up empty. Finding her tomb would be like discovering Egypt's version of King Tut's burial, a treasure trove of history and culture. But so far, Cleopatra continues to elude us. And the strangest part is, some believe her tomb could rewrite not just Egyptian history, but Roman history too. But if that's mysterious, wait until you hear what was recently discovered inside the Great Pyramid itself. Number 7 takes us into the very heart of Egypt's most iconic monument, the Great Pyramid of Giza. For thousands of years, we thought we knew all of its chambers. But in 2017, scientists used advanced scanning technology and discovered something shocking: a hidden void the size of a passenger plane buried deep inside. To this day, no one knows what it contains. Is it an undiscovered burial chamber, a storage space for lost artifacts, or maybe a construction feature we don't yet understand? Whatever it is, it's never been opened, and Egypt's authorities are cautious about disturbing it. Just imagine, there could be untouched relics, writings, or secrets sealed away for over 4,000 years. And that's not even the only unfinished puzzle Egypt left behind. At number 6, we have the unfinished obelisk of Aswan. If completed, it would have been the largest stone monument ever created by humans, over 1,000 tons of solid granite, taller than a 10-story building. But halfway through carving it directly out of the bedrock, cracks appeared, and the Egyptians abandoned the project. Here's the riddle: how were they planning to move something that massive? Even today, modern cranes would struggle to lift it. And yet, ancient builders were confident enough to start. Some say they had techniques we've lost to time. Others think it shows just how ambitious and perhaps overconfident they were. But that's not the strangest part, because when you realize what comes next, the mysteries only get bigger. Now here's where it gets really strange. No one knows what's inside. Some believe it could be an undiscovered burial chamber holding relics we've never seen. Others think it may have been designed to relieve weight from the pyramid structure. But if that's the case, why is it so perfectly hidden, and why is it so big? Imagine an enormous secret chamber sitting inside the most studied monument on Earth, and we still don't dare open it. It's like having a locked room in your house that's been there all along, but no one has the key. And here's the kicker. If the Great Pyramid can still surprise us with something this massive, what else might be hidden beneath the sands of Egypt, just waiting to be uncovered? New technology is giving us answers, but at the same time, it's raising even bigger questions. And the craziest part is, that's not even close to Egypt's biggest mystery. Number 5 takes us to a temple ceiling carved with images that have baffled researchers for decades: the Dendera light. On the walls of the Temple of Hathor, there are strange reliefs that look, to modern eyes, like giant light bulbs. You can see a bulb-shaped outline, a filament-like serpent inside, and what resembles a power cable. Some fringe theorists claim this proves the Egyptians had electricity thousands of years before it should have been possible. Mainstream Egyptologists argue these are simply symbolic depictions of mythology, the serpent representing creation, the bulb-shaped outline symbolizing a womb. But here's the thing, the resemblance is uncanny, and experimental archaeologists have even built working replicas based on the carvings. Could it be coincidence? Or does it hint that ancient Egypt's knowledge went far beyond what we think? The debate is still alive today, and it only gets stranger with mystery number 4. The missing mummy of Imhotep remains one of archaeology's greatest puzzles. Imhotep wasn't just any Egyptian. He was a genius architect, engineer, and physician
who designed the very first pyramid, the Step Pyramid of Djoser. After his death, he was deified and worshipped as a god of wisdom. Yet, despite his legendary status, his tomb has never been found. Archaeologists have scoured Saqqara and surrounding areas, but Imhotep's remains are still missing. If discovered, his tomb could rival King Tut's in importance, possibly containing ancient texts that explain Egypt's medical and engineering secrets. Some even believe his body was hidden deliberately to protect knowledge considered too powerful. Was he buried in plain sight, or is his tomb still waiting, untouched, beneath the sands? That brings us to mystery number 3, the surprisingly advanced medicine of ancient Egypt. Archaeologists have uncovered papyrus scrolls describing surgical procedures, dental treatments, and even brain surgery. Skeletal remains show healed fractures, amputations, and evidence that patients survived complex operations. How did they acquire this knowledge thousands of years ago? Some scholars say it was trial and error. Others argue their precision suggests an inherited knowledge system, maybe even one passed down from civilizations before them. Their tools were simple, but their techniques rivaled what you'd expect in medieval Europe over 2,000 years later. Were they pioneers of medicine or inheritors of wisdom from an even older world?
Finally, at number 2, we arrive at the Great Sphinx and the debate over its true age. Most Egyptologists say the Sphinx was built around 2500 BC during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre. But some geologists have pointed out patterns of water erosion on its body that don't match desert weathering. They suggest the Sphinx could be thousands of years older, dating back to a time when the Sahara was lush and rainy. If that's true, it means an advanced civilization existed in Egypt long before the pharaohs. Critics argue this theory overstates the evidence, but the erosion marks are still hard to ignore. Did the Egyptians inherit the Sphinx from a forgotten people, or did they build it themselves? The truth remains buried in the sand, and it leads us straight to the biggest mystery of all. And here we are, the biggest mystery of them all. How exactly were the pyramids built? These colossal monuments have stood for more than 4,000 years, and yet the question of how ancient Egyptians managed to construct them still stirs fierce debate. Think about it. The Great Pyramid alone contains over 2 million limestone blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons. They were transported, cut with extraordinary precision, and stacked into a structure so exact that even modern laser equipment struggles to find flaws in its alignment. The most widely accepted theory is that massive ramps were built to drag the stones into place. But when you consider the scale, the math gets messy. The ramps would have needed more material than the pyramid itself. Others argue the Egyptians may have used a spiral ramp inside the pyramid, but no physical evidence of such a system has ever been found. Then there are theories that suggest water and buoyancy played a role, floating blocks along canals. Of course, some go even further, suggesting lost technologies or even intervention from extraterrestrials. While mainstream archaeology doesn't support those claims, the mystery remains powerful because the logistics are still mind-boggling. What we do know is this: whatever method they used, it required an incredible combination of engineering, manpower, and vision. It proves the ancient Egyptians were far more advanced than many give them credit for. And yet, the truth is, we still don't know for sure. The pyramids remain not just tombs of kings, but timeless reminders that human history still holds secrets just out of reach. Ancient Egypt is a reminder that history still holds secrets. For every riddle we think we've solved, there are others waiting to be uncovered. Hidden chambers, missing tombs, artifacts that defy explanation. Maybe one day, archaeologists will finally crack these codes and give us clear answers. But until then, these mysteries keep the magic alive, pulling us back into the sands of time where fact and legend blur together. And that's part of the beauty of it. The unknown invites us to wonder, to imagine, and to look at history not as something frozen in textbooks, but as a living puzzle still unfolding. Every discovery brings us closer to the truth, but also reminds us just how much we don't know. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves a good mystery. And stick around, because if you thought Egypt was full of unanswered questions, wait until you see the unsolved mysteries of ancient Africa's forgotten kingdoms. That's a story you won't want to miss.